What up, good people? It's your boy Morgan Mall, and I'd like to welcome you all to Mall on Movies, where I talk about movies that I've seen from the theater to the couch. Now remember, I'm not a critic, I just like movies. Welcome everybody to another episode of Mall on Movies, man. And man, this week, the movies I will be discussing or reviewing are, we'll touch a little bit on Transformers, Never Let Go, starring Halle Berry, The Wild Robot, featuring the voiceover from Miss Lupita, and The Substance, which stars Demi Moore. But yeah, man, well, I got my guy sitting with me, Dietrich. How you doing right now, my man?
Feeling good.
Feeling good. So, man, let's get right into it. I know you hit me about a week ago, and I know I talked about it on the last episode, Transformers 1, and you hit me with the flames. You know what I'm saying? You hit me with the flames.
I was impressed, man. I guess for me, because it's like it did a good job following a story. Versus when I watched the live action ones, it was more so I was just like the action.
Yeah.
This one did a good job at following a story. I think I'm gonna be able to keep up with this one for slow people like me.
No. So it's so crazy, and I feel like I mentioned it in the last episode. For me, even looking at it, I was lost probably the first 20, 30 minutes. But once again, this is because I don't watch previews, y'all. If it's a movie, like I grew up on Transformers, so that's all I need to see. Transformers. I'm going to go see it. Same way I feel like X-Men. I don't need to see previews. I don't like to have a preconceived thought of what I think the movie is going to be about. You know what I'm saying? And so like I said, that first 20 minutes, I'm looking at these cats, and I'm like, what's going on? Like where's Optimus Prime? You know, that's like I said, I'm trying to figure it out. So once we get into it, figuring out, it's like, oh, this is a prequel. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is the setup.
And because I watched the previews, I knew that.
You already know you know what time it was. And so from your perspective, even being as a videographer, what did you feel as far as with the animation? Did you feel it was just right or too much, or with the CGI and all of that?
I'm gonna be honest. When I first saw the preview, I had made up in my mind I wasn't gonna watch it. For real. I felt like it was gonna be cheesy compared to what that was just in my mind. I felt like it was gonna be cheesy compared to what we had become used to.
Yeah, for sure.
But honestly, like I said, I think that it did so good of a job telling the story for me that I ain't even get caught up in that. Yeah. I actually enjoyed it. I think it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to the rest of it.
Cool. And so what I was speaking on, like I said, for you all who haven't watched episode 3, please go back. And the reason why I wanted to stall out from last episode to talk about it more in this episode, because I just wanted to get your perspective as well and just hop into this conversation of friendships and, you know, you or even brotherhood. You know, you start off a job. We're looking at dang, now I got to go back through my notes. I'm sorry, y'all. Who's my guys? Transformers. Where you at? What's the two names? Megatron, Optimus Prime, and Megatron. Well, who they eventually ended up being or whatever. Like having that friendship or someone where it comes down to a decision. You want to do one thing one way, you have to do another thing another way. Yep. Have you had relationships like, you know what I'm saying, like that with friends to where one decision or one outlook on something made y'all separate forever?
I would say yes, but I'm the type of friend where honestly I don't put that much pressure. Now if a person is totally like they on some total opposite stuff than me that's like damaging, I can understand why their relationship fell apart.
Yeah.
It was just two totally different opposites. So do you have to choose, man? Either I'm gonna be on this side or this side. So that's one of them things where I don't think that I've ever been on some, you know, where somebody was picking something that I just couldn't do. I can't rock with you on this. I can't even be your friend.
Yeah.
Because of this. I haven't faced that, but this is definitely watching this. It was an eye opener to that, having that decision. Like, man,
Megatron.
Megatron was. He was like on some. Hey, I can't let this go.
I can't let it go. And you know that's what I was looking at, because it was a comment in the movie where he was like, I've always had to save you.
Yeah.
Or look out for, you know what I'm saying? And so when you grow that resentment, like what it was Optimus Prime, I mean, who became Optimus Prime, he was on the side of like let's make change, but it's, you know what, it's kind of like, and I know this might be, y'all follow me for those who've seen it. It's Malcolm and Martin. Almost, to a certain extent. And what I mean by that was where Optimus Prime would be like, and even though Megatron and the Decepticons, I'm not putting evil on Malcolm X. I'm saying that Malcolm was by any means necessary, go against the grain type of deal, Malcolm's piece. And so when I'm looking at, and that's just the quick relation. I'm not saying that they were enemies by no means. I'm saying different approaches. That's what I'm speaking to for those. So I don't want anything to be taken out of context when I use that. I'm saying like friends that have different approach. They both wanted to take down the man. You know what I'm saying? But Megatron was so hurt because
that's a good observation. I like it.
Because he was so hurt behind it, he couldn't let it go. He's like, nah, and then it was like, follow my way. And whereas Optimus Prime is like, not like, I'm with you, but let's go about, let's not be evil in doing it. And so I peeped out. I was like, dang, like these dudes was rocking with each other, same goal in mind, but just wanted to go about it a different way. You know what I'm saying? And so now we have the Autobots and the Decepticons. You know what I'm saying? So
I like how they. To me, I'm really digging how they putting this story together. I'm digging that part. So it got me intrigued. I wanna,
It was crazy
when he fell down that pit.
Yeah.
He made his decision to let him fall. And that was a
sign.
Call for Optimus Prime. Like, oh, you made a decision.
You made a decision at this point.
You was ready to kill me.
You was ready to kill. Yeah, let me go. Yeah. And I mean, but that's the thing about it though. It was, if you also in the movie too is paying attention to the details. If you've seen, even when they went to see the grand, what's the biggest?
I don't remember
his name. But when they were all Bumblebee, when they were all down there, just even Megatron's eyes going red was just felt like it was real devious. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He wanted to lead his way, and what was not Bumblebee, but what was the girl? I can't remember the girl, but she even following like Optimus Prime, like putting that batteries like, hey, we go follow you. You know, and so like I said, I've seen that in different.
And I'll say also in the live action one, that's why I say with the live action ones, I can't really, the story is all over the place because they mentioned him. I can't think of his name. It's
see, I feel like I got to pull it up.
Yeah, but he's in the live action briefly, but it's totally different. The way that they used him was different.
Let me see here if I can find it real quick. But like I said, overall, man, that movie is man, y'all go check it out. For those who Centennial Prime.
Yes.
That's
He's in the live action one.
Well, and then Centennial Prime was wrong. Alpha Trion, because that's who I was looking at the voiceover. That was Lawrence Fishburne.
Okay.
And I was like, dang, that's crazy. And then Alita 1, that was Scarlett Johansson. That's who the girl Transformer was. So, like I said, man, I just found that brotherhood of which is gonna be a reoccurring theme in this episode is family, love, friendship, and all of that. Just tying all of that in. That's a reoccurring theme for each of these movies, which is crazy for me. So check out Transformers 1. We'll see.
Sometimes they have a release date for the next one. Do they have?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. That's why I was looking to see that. I was looking to see that too. Man, let me move forward to another movie that I've seen, which is considered a horror movie, Never Let Go by my girl Halle Berry. Man, I thought, Halle, bring me back. Golly, that's all I could. She's still doing it. All right. Anyway, folks, let me get right back to it, man. I want to say for this movie, it leaves a whole bunch of questions. Far as was this like this? Was it? We not even go get into that. And so I don't know if that makes a good movie or a bad movie when you have confusion or questions at the end if something's real. But to sum it all up, just in the beginning, we do remember that Halle Berry, which she's a mother, name is June, mother of twins. Storyline: kids are they're at least think that they're in this world alone. A big devastation happened. She's keeping them away from evil. So the whole theme of Never Let Go is they're tied. They have a rope whenever they leave the house. You can't go far without this rope. If you let this rope go, the evils get up on you. So like I said, y'all know this show is for those who's watched the movie. I'm not even going to get into that part. What I want to focus in on is these relationships of mother and having twin boys. So mother having kids, right? And so you have the two characters are played by Nolan is played by Percy Daggs the fourth, and Samuel is played by Anthony B. Jenkins. What I want to say is that these two kids killed it. I want to see what their trajectory is. Well, I believe they have a high trajectory just in the actors. Where I like watching these kids start in these films and then grow to be teenagers, adolescence years, and then get into being adults. Just seeing that growth. But I think the movie setup, Halle Berry June is basically protecting her kids away from the evil. They're the only ones left in the world, so they believe. And so there is this reoccurring thing, once again, like I said, of these twin boys. And when you have, and I just liken this to any family that has multiple kids, right? And so you have one child that might be a little closer to the parent than the other. And so in this instance, you have Samuel, who's the twin who listens to the mother all the time. You know, like he follows her lead. Whatever she says is golden. He believes that. And Nolan is the child that's like, are we sure about that? Like, are we sure we go believe that or just follow that? So his whole curiosity through the movie is like, is there really evil out there? Is mom's tripping, or is there? We got this rope. And so one of the comments that was made was that Samuel, which is the older one that's perceived as closer to the mother, he says she loves me more. And you know, at this point in the movie, Nolan hears him say that, and like I said, they're attached to these ropes. At that point, he steps on the rope. Sam falls, cracks his ankle or whatever, and lets go of the rope. And now Nolan is panicking, trying to save his brother. And then June, Halle Berry, comes and saves them, right? Well, the thing that I was looking at in that is the fact that these children saying, she loves me more. And you know what I'm saying? And so it made me think, and I don't know if you have siblings. You have siblings, Nathan? Yeah. Okay. So it made me think, and even throughout the movie, like I said, there's times where June says like, well, what your brother say? Follow this, follow that, doing that thing. And so, and even you as a parent, what do you say to, like, I guess the relationship? Do you feel that there's we always say that parents use the blanket statement of, I love all my children the same. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Which is true, but do you believe, or do you even show, like, did you grow up sense favoritism amongst certain siblings? Ones that were, if y'all were in the house together or not, or anything like that? That's my first question.
138,000%. And it was obvious. It was like blatant too. It was blatant. I would say that when it comes to like the statement of, I love my kids all the same, mm-hmm. which is true, but you gotta parent them different. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta parent, you gotta pay attention. Like in this case, where you notice one is very They question a lot of things. And
yep.
And the other one is follow. So you gotta parent that one different. So it may look like I love this one different. It's just I parent you different because I can see your personality and I see how you. So that's how I take it.
Yeah. Now, what about you as a parent? How do you know what I'm saying? Like, so that,
and that's me as a parent.
As parent. Okay, so but growing up, how did you understand it as a child?
As
Did
a
you feel?
child,
Yeah.
like I just said, a favoritism, 100. My oldest brother, man, seemed like he can do whatever, and it's like I got that belt. I got that belt for everybody.
Okay.
I got 3 brothers.
Yeah.
That I seem like I got the belt for everybody.
Now, where you fall in the?
I'm second.
Second.
Right,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm second in line.
So you know what was interesting? I'm watching. It's just me and my brother, and he's older, and you know the running thing is I'm the spoiled one, and he had to go through all the things. The way I look at him is like you the first child, so you like to me it's like not that you the favorite or anything like that, but you the first. So the first gets everything. The first I say the first gets the most pictures, gets all the things, gets treated like the first.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. Everybody is, but I don't. It's interesting is that I've always understood that as a child. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
I didn't take it no way.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't take it no way. Now I feel like I was probably close. I was with my mom. Well, I mean, we same household, but my pops took my brother everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like our relationship, I grew closer to my mom. My brother was closer to my pops, but I don't recall feeling a type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so it's just understanding.
I will say that for me, when I did feel a certain way, I created a certain way because once I was told that could be used as an excuse to cut up, I used it. I was as a child, I was like the whole single parent thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was dysfunctional until I was told, and then trust me when I say I use it as an excuse to cut up. So
see,
yeah.
and I mean that's interesting because even with these 2 boys in this film, like I said, a lot of times it was like I said, there was a lot of, you know, like I said, Samuel was and I'm assuming he was the oldest one. I don't know, but he was closer to June. Even Nolan made a comment that it's like, yo, because the beef started happening with Nolan and Mom, because it's like I'm questioning, like, is there life out there? Do we need these ropes? Is there really evil? Are you tripping? And Mom's like, no, we got to do this. And like they were eating, mind you, because this is taking place. They're perceived that there's nobody else in the world. That they're eating animals. They're eating all the things of nature, right? And so the kid is like, yo, this ain't right. So it gets to a point where winter comes and there's no food anywhere. So now they're eating trees and doing that. And so Nolan is like, this is crazy. Where Sam is like, no, this is what Mom says do. You know, like I said, he's this questioning. And so that curiosity of that, well, it gets to a point to where Mom says, we gonna have to sacrifice this dog. And Nolan ain't having it. He's like, nah, not the dog. We ain't. And he's like, yo, so her mindset is survival. And so he goes, she's going to go kill the dog. He locks her in the room. And then once again, because she believed that there's evil out there that can get on them, she, instead of, the choice becomes if either sacrifice this dog or, you know, you're going to have to kill your kids. You know what I'm saying? And so she ends up killing the dog, traumatizes Nolan. You know what I'm saying? He's beefing. Then she kills herself right in front of her. And so now Samuel sees this. So now he's beefing with the brother. Like, you got mama killed. You know what I'm saying? So there's this thing, but I'm going to rewind back to how I told you that the brother was like, Nolan was like, you know, I can't live this life without you. So in the midst of this, Samuel is about to burn down the house and tripping out, but Nolan is still trying to do whatever to save. And I think that's an interesting part when you look at brotherhood and family, is that, like I said, even though this one brother feels that the mother is choosing him, he's still showing that love for his brother. You know what I'm saying? I thought that, like I said, I thought that was there's a whole bunch of other things within that film that leaves you like, what the heck is going on? Is this real? Is it not? But that was a real key point. So y'all check out Never Let Go.
For me,
yeah,
that would probably be my biggest gripe about it. I haven't seen it yet, but I don't know if I don't really like movies that leave me with a
bunch of questions.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, if I have more questions than answers, I'm probably not happy.
Now,
Yeah.
well, and that was the thing. It's like I walked out of there, and I was like, it was. I was like, I got some questions, but I was picking up on that. But it just made me think about their relationship of brothers. And then lead on to the animation movie, The Wild Robot, which has Lapita. My apology, I cannot pronounce your last name. As Roz7134, Kit Connor does the voiceover for Bright Bill, and I think Ving Rhames does a voiceover of someone too. But this movie is based off of a book written by Peter Brown. And The Wild Robot, have you seen any previews for it?
Yes, in the theaters.
In the theaters, yeah. So premises, real quick, robot. The book is supposed to be about how does a robot survive in a wildlife, and so I kind of liken it to Jungle Book to a certain extent, to where your instincts become the nature that you're surrounded by. And so the robot, which is the actual name is Roz7134, basically is sent down for an assignment to collect all this data on these different animals and all of that. So all of the animals think that the robot is a monster. And it's like, yo, you here to destroy. And the robot's like, no, I'm here to give information. I'm here to assist and help and do it. Like, that's what she was sent for. Kind of like, kind of like some Avatar type stuff to a certain extent too. But anyway, in the midst of it, she breaks this, or falls on this nest, cracks all the eggshell, kills all these geese, or that's unborn, and it's only one left. So basically ends up becoming attached to this geese, or this goose, because it's just one. But throughout the theme on this movie is the idea of blended family, someone trying to fit in, and the idea of nature and everyone being predators in a certain extent, survival, the idea of survival. Well, you have this robot, and what I thought was interesting in this film is that, like I said, back to the idea of family and love and all of that, is that this robot who was sent there to get this information was basically forced to become the mother of this goose. And so in that was teaching this goose how to survive and live. But the thing about it, the goose will be amongst the geese and not accept it. Because it's like, yo, you with the monster? Like, not having the skills to be accepted. And so throughout this time period, the Roz's whole, as a mother, that's what, so you look into motherhood, taking on a responsibility of liking it to a child that's not yours, that belongs to another group, but you're attached to it and you help raise it and all of that. And so one of the things that was very key in this, like I said, I just gave you that feel of it, but we're talking about nature. So in the midst of it, there was a bad storm, a bad winter that came. And so now, mind you, I said all of the animals thought that this robot was monstrous. And so the whole time this robot is there to help, well, basically the robot ends up helping all of the animals find shelter. Now, once they find shelter, it turns chaos in there. It's a madhouse because you have all of the different animals that's a part of that. And so it made me think, in this time of society now, it's like, can you find yourself in a room with your enemies and people that you may not deal with in the outside world, but when it's time to survive, can you pull it together? You know what I'm saying? Can you pull it together for the greater good? And I thought I think this is a movie for all families, of course, but it's so much, but just those themes of parents raising kids either in a blended family or feeling like they don't belong and finding their tribe, seeing them through. And then also the part of, like I said, you get in a room, when we think of nature, you got foxes, possums, beavers, bears. You have all of these animals in one location, and their whole thing is survive, get away from this bad winter that's happening. And so I guess that's my question for you, Deidre. Like when we think of differences that humans have with each other, how do we move forward? Or do you think there's instances where we can come together for one common good? You know what I'm saying? like what does that look like?
For me, I definitely believe that there's plenty of instances where we come like 9/11 and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things that can happen where we'll all come together at least for a period of time.
Yeah.
At least for a period of time. Somebody's child is in danger, and stuff like race and all of that is out of the door. But I think that I think I had mentioned this to you before, that if like, say for instance, if me being black,
right,
to see, it's best that somebody on each side speak to their people to make a change, because it's hard to take one direction and correction from somebody from the opposite
somebody
side.
else that doesn't have
somebody within your side. Like we always say about police, like somebody within the police force need to be checking the police officers, because they're not going to take it from a civilian. So I think to me that's what needs to take place in order for effective change to happen.
And I remember it was a key point in there. It was like when the robot Roz was like, "Yo, like while we in here," or even it was the Fox, "While we in here, we gotta love each other. We gotta be, because we're trying to be protected from this storm out here. Now, when we get back out there, whatever it is, it's gonna be, But this idea of survival is like, even when we look at just the food chain, like all these different things and what they're there for. But check out, like I said, take your kids.
So you enjoy? I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I had probably 2% interest in watching it.
Yeah, no. I enjoyed it. It was So, and I'm with you on it. Well, for me, it's a good story. Like is it a fire movie or anything like that? I think it's just a good story. So if you're looking for a good story, you know what I mean? I think the animation is really good too. And it's like I said, I was surprised.
You say you don't watch the previews. In the previews, it was like it kept saying the best movie of the year. I'm sitting here like,
no. I think they just throwing that out there. But for kids, for family, for storyline, and for those things, I think it wraps all of that in. And like I said, it tug on your heart a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Tug on your heart. Now, my must see. And honestly, because Daytrick asked me, we do want to like put the emphasis, but the reason why I want to tie all of these three, because I see this common theme in this family love and just self type of building. But my last movie for today is The Substance, which is a sci-fi horror movie, and I think the key line that the star in this movie is Demi Moore, who is Elizabeth Stolly or something like that, and then Margaret Qualley, who plays Sue. Hold on, the tagline in The Substance. Hold on, what is the tagline? What is? Because it is. Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself? Actually, I'm gonna just read it straight from it. It says, "If you follow the instructions, what could go wrong? It'll change your life. Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself?" So, the reason why I enjoyed this movie, like I said, it says sci-fi horror. I didn't know what it was about, but we'll break it down just like this. It's very simple. Demi Moore, who plays the character Elizabeth, is turning 50. Turning 50. I know that's a big deal for people aging, and she's a fit woman that's been on the cover, TV show, and all of that, and just got fired. And the job that she's working, they're going for a younger person. That's how it is in society. And so she's in a car accident. There's this element, this substance. That's why it's called The Substance. That if you take it and follow the instructions, you will have a better version of yourself. The only thing to it is that y'all have to share time, 7 days on, 7 days off, and it's an equal balance. So the whole theme of it is like, this is still you, and that's the sci-fi part in it, but it's this other cell that grows out of you, And so my first thing that I have to even ask on that, like I said, is that we deal with this a lot in aging, and I'm gonna get to the deep crux of it. But Daytrick, if there was a substance you could take to double you, and you get 25-year-old Daytrick out here. Now, mind you, like I said, it's still you. Y'all go 7 days on, 7 days off. 7 days on, 7 days off. And the other key component is, remember, it's because it's the whole look. It's the whole look. You want to feel like you're 25, you're turning 50. You know what I'm saying? And how
I'm
would you?
probably the wrong person to ask because I done fell in love with 40s and 50. Like,
That's-
and my 20s, I wouldn't want to go back
For no-
for nothing. So, yeah, I'm probably the wrong person to ask every time I even think about if I had an opportunity to be. Because I feel like that somewhere between 40 and 55, maybe even push it up to 60.
Yeah.
I realized like, man, that's probably like the good part.
Good part of life. Well, so I'll put it to you like this. Maybe not the actions, not your actions as a 25-year-old, but the look. Because this whole thing is it's a thing that's a big deal right now, right? Is I've watched and I know it and I had to
I'm a fan of a mature look.
mature, right?
Yeah,
you know what
like,
I'm saying?
I don't like the little, little like people that like I wouldn't even be the type of guy that even if I had all this money or whatever at 50 years old would give me a 22-year-old.
Got you.
Like,
Yeah.
I like the mature look.
Like so I think this movie, man, it's really where I felt about it is I think it's a conversation more. It's geared towards women, but I think it's something for men too, right? So you have the character Harvey, who runs this company, right? And he's an older man, which is crazy. And his whole thing is, I want a younger girl on this camera, in front of this camera. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, but you the old man. And so it's really like it's the creepy thing, old men looking at younger women type of this. So it shows that in there, or the fact that men can be old and ask for younger women on camera, but you know, if an older woman was in charge, would she ask for a younger man on camera? And I think in society, when we see on TV, we do know that the idea is to look young. That's what they throw in front of us, is a younger look and all of that. But I wish we could champion each other more on aging and not doing all these things, because like I said, the thing about it is it was the whole idea was 7 days on, 7 days off, respect the balance. And so what happened for Demi Moore, Elizabeth, is that it started off good, right? Like it was 7 days. She just got fired from her job. So she takes this substance and boom, a younger version of her comes out, but it's a new person, of course, you know what I'm saying? But so she goes and gets the same job or whatever that she has. Now, here's the thing. It's like this battle. It becomes, because you're still one. It's still you, but the battle becomes with these looks, right? And so this younger person is on this billboard screen and she's seeing it all the time. So it hit a point where the 7 days has switched. So now Elizabeth is back to her older self, but she's looking at these billboards of her younger self. And now she's altering her body. She's not comfortable in her own skin type of deal. And I've seen men, you know, I always laugh. Y'all see these grays. And I've always said, I'm not dyeing my beard unless I have to be on TV for something or there's a requirement. But I like, and no shade to anybody that does that. But like I said, watching this film had me think about, as people are getting older, we're always trying to hide the age. And I don't know if it's from I don't want to call it self-hate, or just something you have to get over, or even from a job perspective, you know what I'm saying? And so I thought that, like I said, throughout this movie, the last 15 minutes is crazy. It gets real gory but once again, what happens is there becomes an imbalance where the younger self, the younger looks, is wanting to take over the natural woman, you know, the natural self. And so in that, there's a bunch of deformities that happen because they got off balance with the formula. So now instead of, and I liken it to any drug, like you start taking drugs more, that addiction comes. Now you've created this, it's like, oh, I like when I look like this, or I feel like this. So I start taking this more and more, kind of like steroids, kind of like getting the shots and doing all these things to alter yourself to look a certain way. And so I was just wondering, like I said, you said you enjoy aging, Daytrick, and I do so myself as well. But I find it a thing in Hollywood and in TV is that I don't know. I think our culture is doing a great job at it. I see the women that we grew up on are looking great, and I want to continue to push that. I want to definitely continue to push that. Like, love on yourself. you know, and just stay fit, do the things that are, be as natural as you can be. I can't tell you how to live your life and all that, but this is a good movie to see what happens when you start taking all these drugs, all these things, and trying to look like something that you once were, but also because society is telling you that. So, like I said, man, y'all check out The Substance. Have you checked out any reviews on it or seen anything?
Yeah, I'm looking at a couple of things, man. One that I wanted to. This is a 1 star. This is a 1 star. It says that the movie could have been great if it had just stopped. But no, it dragged on for another 20 minutes and ruined everything of substance that the movie had established.
Yeah.
Too much pointless gore at the end.
Yeah. So like I said, the title of it or the description of the movie is sci-fi horror. So they got real gory. I do agree. Like the last 20 minutes, I didn't need it. But if they wanted to, I think they wanted to add some fun to it. It basically, her body was so deformed that she ended up looking like a monster. And so what was supposed to happen was it was a New Year's Eve party. The younger version was supposed to host. It was because she went from doing daytime TV to now making money for the network. It's like, oh, we want you for New Year's Eve. And so once again, like I was saying, that imbalance had happened where she started taking more of the drug than was supposed to happen. So now it just done went haywire. So in these deformities, just looked crazy. It looked crazy and blood was everywhere. So I agree. I wouldn't give it a 1 star, but I do agree with, they could have left 15, like I said, as far as if they wanted to just be a great, good movie, could have left that off.
Okay. And then just one good one. We got a 5 star here. It says, deeper than people think. An allegory of what women feel about aging, the aging process within our capitalist system. And so I think that's probably, I think that, man, I have this conversation sometimes. You know, we film a lot of relationship conversation with women. And I listen to women sometimes and I'll be wondering, but do y'all listen to other people? Do y'all listen to, like, what are y'all paying attention to?
Yeah.
Like, I've seen women that, like, you're gorgeous and you try to go do things and all this extra stuff. Like, you can look good. You can look good with whatever you're working with. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can just work with it.
It's man, and that's why I said, man, this conversation I would love to have. I'm trying to encourage some more friends to go see it because I would love to have it with women, like with women more, because I can understand both sides of it, right? Like I said, with this film, the lady turned 50 and got fired.
Yeah.
And they basically told her, we want to go younger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that part right there is troubling, right? Like, so and so now we're looking at, we say society, TV is saying you need to look a certain way to get, and I think we have to show appreciation. And men, this is we have to be very mindful of, Daytrick, is that in this business, it's ran by men, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a twofold thing, right? It's like when we put a blame on society, we're still saying men, right? And so if the rules, especially, and I'm just speaking towards Hollywood and TV, is that there's a look, you know what I'm saying? There's a look. You got to look beautiful. You got to look good. You got to look. So they cake you up with all this makeup.
Pounds.
You know what I'm saying? And so when average regular Joe, myself, come try to tell a woman or tell someone to say, hey, you look beautiful as you are, the first thing they're going to say to me is, well, if especially if they're on TV or doing hosting, is that, well, in order for me to keep my job, I got to look like this. You know, if not, my job is going to be taken. And I think it's a fine line of saying I think we have to empower women more in that space to say, hey, either like to understand that, hey, a job may go younger, but that doesn't mean that you're not still quality, that you're still not valued. Yeah. We have to find something else for you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We don't want you to alter yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean? But that's a hard thing.
It's like certain things that I like. Say, for instance, if you are a media personality and in your 20s you covered shade room type of stuff, okay, you can get away with that. But I feel like if you're 50, then it's time to move on.
Because
To,
it's finding a lane. That's another key point too. Is that's why I say it's like either creating these opportunities. It needs to be somewhere to go.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's what it is like having somewhere to go, you know, and the reason why I want to bring it even as a male, like y'all know, I create music, I rap. And so for me, even just thinking like I say, just this aging affects everyone, to know how to like mature with with my content, with my look, of doing all of that. So it's accepting and saying,
I'm pretty sure people will tell you too old to be rapping, and people say that type of stuff
all the time. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, like I'm still getting placed. Like, and it's bothered me mentally before, but it was like, yo, like I have to understand that there's room for that. And the thing about it is that 20, 30 years ago, there wasn't room. We didn't know that there was room for that. So I think if we have to celebrate women in certain industries, I mean, I think all around, period. But saying, hey, there's room for you over here too. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. It's like we don't have to. Like for me, I'm not competing with the 20-year-old rapper running around with his shirt off, and I still want to look fit. I still want to let them know what plus 40 look like. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But that's not the environment that I'm in. So it's like in order for me to do, I still want to do what I love doing. I just have to do it differently and in a new phase. Yeah. So I think that's the thing in that. And so I still want to look good, you know, but I'm not, I can't, y'all ain't gonna see me out here with the dye on my face and stuff running down my neck and I get to sweating and then you see, you know what I'm saying? Like, but like I say, anything that you choose to do to enhance you, just be mindful if sometimes them drugs wear off and just don't get addicted to it. Because it can lead to death, you know, and that's what I get concerned with when we start doing all the changes to ourselves is going overboard with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you want to do some hair follicles and all that because you don't want your bald spot and all that. Like I said, if you can afford it and the treatment is safe, but when you start compacting it layer, this nose job, this cheek job, now we don't even recognize who you are, you know, and it's like. Just finding that place. Yeah. We want to elevate people. So
without using names, we all know people that we look at, you know, that we were like, dang, why didn't you just stop?
Why didn't you just stop? You know what I'm saying? But once again, if that job is telling you, you know what I'm saying? Like it's threatening you start to think it's my livelihood. So now you might be trying to fix something. And that's what was happening in this movie. She was trying to fix things. Mm-hmm. Now, like this altered this way. And now it's like, oh shoot, I'm trying to reverse it and fix it. And it's like, it's too late. Yeah. You know, so man, y'all check out the Subtance, man, and to everyone that's watching this over 35 and going up, man, age gracefully, take care of your bodies and yourself now, and then for everyone, for my men out there, let's champion women, let's champion aging, let's find these spaces, let's create these spaces for people to age gracefully, so we ain't out here tripping and taking all these substances and drugs and killing ourselves, like at the end of the day. So that's my word for y'all. Like I said, man, I want to tie that all in with self-love, awareness, family love, brotherly love, and all that. And so, man, y'all check out those movies, Transformers 1, Never Let Go, The Wild Robot, and like I said, The Substance. So we'll be back for another episode. Peace.